Welcome. Hello trader, welcome back to another live trading session here from Forex Trading Wizard Academy for this a very important day. It's the first day of this week with high impact news coming on gold and also on dollar pairs. So we'll be looking at now in the market to see that what kind of trading opportunity we can find later today. This is a complete analysis as well as the live trading session where you will be looking at potential entry as well as trade setup as soon as it appears in the market. I'm waiting for some entry to come up at the moment. I believe you guys also ready for potentially a big trading day later today. And so we have to update. All right, so pretty significant day in terms of some of the trade setup coming later today, and this is gold chart that I'm looking at the moment. Hello, welcome. If you guys are here in the live chat, say yes or write anything so that I know how many members are ready for today's live session. Okay, so before we begin anything in terms of entry, first let's look at the calendar, as we are having recently very successful trading sessions and we want to make this session as well pretty successful. And we are looking at today is 21st of January 2026. So we saw that there was some news on British pound US dollar, which CPI has come out to be little higher in. Now we have later today coming some tentative news. So there is speaking coming, and also tomorrow coming up AUD news, to high impact news, followed by also tomorrow final GDP on USD. So later this week was absolutely packed with quite a few high impact news. And in this market condition now, if you guys looked at gold, that probably you have seen my weekly forex forecast earlier, and in this market I'm looking at first of all the multiple time frame analysis. By the way, we will be focusing on today as usual on two pairs, so one currency and one XAUUSD. Gold currently in a very strong trend, so I'm looking at further entry opportunity on gold in this NOI session during this live. Now before we look at any entry, and I hope that the sounds is going well, and you guys, anyone can confirm that let me reduce the volume for the music. Is the volume is going well? So is the sound, the audio is okay? Is the audio okay? Okay. Thank you. So technically market is extremely overbought, and why it is going up without speed breaker. That's a good sentencing. So well, gold is the first of all, we need to understand that what drives XAUUSD or the gold market. Do you have an idea? What is the primary driver of this market? And it's still due to go a lot. It might just go nearing to 5k. Yesterday probably you guys have seen the analysis that I posted on TradingView about the 5k, and it's heading in that direction. Potentially very soon we might see that touching that 5k. Now what drives, you need to understand that what drives the gold price. First of all, what is the primary reason that gold moves? Okay. And then if you look at gold move based on all the fundamental factors. Okay, so the first factor that contributing the gold move is this. You can see that quite a few. So global geopolitical factors mainly contributing the gold move at the moment, and this is a very stronger fundamental that we can look at on this market to move. So and this is the primary reason, because if you look at the traders or investor, all right, don't spam please. This is live chat, keep it for our discussion. So if you look at the move on gold, like what makes gold so like the price is heading it's in a trend. Now if you look at, let me tell you something that will really help you to understand. Now if you look at, this is the weekly chart guys, and you will understand that what I am going to talk about. You see that this move that you can see from the weekly, come on, don't spam. If you spam it, I have to block you out. Okay, so if you look at here, you can see that this move that you can see, right? This is the weekly move, and back to back, how many weeks? Look at this one here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 weeks of stronger bullish momentum here, right? So that is a starting of a significantly bullish trend continuation on gold, right? Followed by a pullback. So as I mentioned earlier also before, intellectual curiosity makes a better trader. So you need to be able to ask questions. Remember, when the market goes up, why does the market goes up? There is a buying happen, right? When there is a buying happen, the market will go up. Okay, so if you look at if the market goes up, that means the buyers has bought this market. So why does so many buyers in this time period were so interested on gold? Because of what is happening now, right? So that's where the gold price moves. So whenever you see that the market is going up, that means there is a lot of buyers in the market in terms of gold. Now why does gold became so like in a high demand? It's the simple way. So gold is considered the safe haven, right? Some other currency also has the safe haven. So safe haven, what I call the notion. But why does the gold is safe haven? whenever you see there is an uncertainty, that drives the gold price. Uncertainty means that gold is bullish. Okay, so now, you know, any situation that creates an uncertainty, that's where the gold become bullish. All right, now why? Because this is something that the metal, right, it's a mine element that you cannot multiply, you cannot print, you cannot double up, or you cannot break, or you cannot do anything. So it's not gonna, you can't, you know, copy gold, right? You need to mine it. So it has a limited availability, and that's why, you know, investor goes to gold whenever there is an uncertainty. Now that's simply that's the simplest way to understand. Now the next thing is to look for entry. This is gone, fundamental is done. Okay, so that's all. There is uncertainty, gold is bullish. Now we need to, as a trader, we need to trade with the trend, right? So that's why we need to work on. Now we need to trade with the trend on a pullback or a breakup structure. Wait for the false breakout. If you guys look at today's analysis, also we discussed that false breakout means that breaking out of the trend and wait for an entry. So we got the higher time frame confluence here for potentially bullish. Now we are looking at going back to the lower time frame. If you guys looked at the previous trade that we have opened during the London session, this is the London session breakout, and it's a simple, okay, if anyone, simple strategy that I use. I have also shared the trade a lot in both group, in the free Telegram and as well as in the premium Telegram, both of that. During this, when we opened that position here, it really worked out incredibly well. And it's still moving in that direction. Now you want to look for further entry opportunity, though it is always a good idea is to wait for a pullback and then entry on a pullback. So now I'm looking at here in this, if you look at this lower time frame where 4-hour candle close, it's a bull market, and in this bull market waiting for the price action to show up a bullish confluence. Now if you look at here, you can see this is an uptrending market structure where the market is maintaining that series of higher high, okay, and also you can see the market is maintaining that series of higher low, right? So which is, the market is going with an uptrending market structure, creating series of higher high and higher low. Now the 4-hour chart that we can see from the intraday perspective here, that you can see this market is maintaining this uptrend here as well. So series of higher low, it's an intraday 4-hour price action that you can see the market is maintaining its uptrend here. So here what we can see, this is the lower time frame intraday support. Breaking below can give an entry opportunity here for us to go long in this market. So at the moment, if you look at, this is also the 1-hour support, and the market is now breaking below of that level where we want to look at an entry. So I'm going to also place the levels on the lower time frame support area. Okay, so these are some of the important zone that we can look for on the lower time frame for a false breakout, for an entry. The market is breaking below here. So what is the nearest level that we can see in this market? This is the previous breakup structure that you can see here. Right now there is another one here. This is not a very stronger breakup structure, but can have a reaction, because what happened in the past is likely to happen in the future. Okay, so if you look at here, this is the breakup structure where we could see the market even breaking further here, because that's how the market moves, right? The market follow the past pattern, because as a human being we only can remember the past. Can you remember the future? Anyone here can remember the future? Okay, so here we are looking at this support level. This is the recent level of support where we are looking at the market to come back down here, retest, and then reject back again of this key level of support. So here in this area, if you look at from this support level, there is a rejection of this support level, and we are looking at this market eventually drop down further back below, and then to reject back again from this support level to create a new higher high in this market. We had opened our previous sessions trade. If you look at in our previous London session and also in our previous NY live as well, we have opened a position from that level, waiting for the similar kind of setup, especially breaking out of the structure for us to be able to entry. Now the trade that I have opened also shared in the premium group during the NY London session open. So this is where, okay, so here was the entry, and it was a significant fair value gap that we have seen. The market was in that fair value gap and strongly rejected back to the upside. This is the pre-breakout. So we saw there was a breakout structure here of this level, and once the market has broken out of the structure, grabbed the liquidity and rejected off this level here. With that breakout structure, the market has gone back to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Now in these two areas, that what we are looking for, the similar kind of setup where you can enter the trade with a high possibility. Now the probability is very important to look at in terms of our entry. So if you look at here, you can see this is a previous support level, where from this support the market has initially got rejected back to the upside. You're looking at this market to come down here for a deeper pullback, and then to return again back in the major direction of the trend. I'm hoping for a sellout tonight in gold and silver. Speaking, we are bullish, I agree, but sudden breakup structure would be good. Okay, so the breakup structure that might come suddenly, okay, as long as there is now remember, when there is a trend, so if you look at this weekly market structure, you can see that, you know, we can't hope this is the reality in the market. Okay, the market will move according to the market structure. Okay, now if you look at this trend, this is the weekly market, right, and see that how the trend has evolved over time, starting from very beginning, right? If you look at this is 2022, 2023. Now if you look at this trend, that the market was trading with 10 exponential moving averages and above 10 exponential moving averages for an extended period of time. Still the market is trending above exponential 10 exponential moving averages. So there could be pullback, but I don't see any very stronger rejection from the top. What we could see that few rejection and then coming to the intraday support, again buyers coming in the market, because a trend is not developed in one day and it's not gonna also change in one day. So therefore any downside movement is an opportunity to buy. There is this, this is as a retail trader, even with me when I started trading, still these days it's hard sometimes to buy on a very highly bull market. But that's what, okay, that's why you see that there is a research on retail traders psychology, and it's found that the retail traders are more likely to buy from the top, sell from the top, buy from the bottom. Okay, so it's a completely opposite, right? We should be looking to buy in a bullish market, looking to sell in a bearish market. But more often retail traders try to sell from the top, buy from the bottom. Why? Because this is also because our brain is wired in that way, right? What do you see that if you go to the shop to buy something, right? You want to buy apple, rice, clothes. When the price is low, we think of buying, right? So this is what reflected in trading, because the brain is very interesting. Okay, that's why human brain is the most the advanced machine in this entire universe, right? In fact, the brain itself is an universe sometimes. You can see, if you take an image of the brain and see, you can see like a galaxy, right? You can see the whole universe inside all those neurons and then wiring together. In fact, if you look at the quantum level, then look at, let's say, the electron, and then break an electron, go to the quarks, where this is the smallest scale. If you look at I think 1 billionth of something of a millimeter, that's the smallest scale can be. And if you look at the current where we are at and look at the galaxies, so from your place to the highest level of galaxy to the lowest point that you can go is billions of times more than what you can go up. So if you look at the lower part that we don't see, what we can see is trillions of more than what we can see. So if you look at a STL like that and you are standing here, right? So if you look at this up and this down is what we can't see, and up is what we can see, but it's trillions of more than, okay, than that. So therefore in human brain is also the same thing that you can see. That this is why it's interesting, right? So if you look at the I lost the track. Anyway, we are talking about I lost the track. By the way, we can play a new track. We'll be coming back to that shortly after. But let's look at here. Coming up in 1 hour, there is a 1 hour candle close, and looking at entry. Welcome. Fun day, right? Third. What day today is? Wednesday. So the market a little bit in a sideway, and from that sideway movement we would like to see to potentially break out and then to give us a potential entry here. As with the progression with the session, we will be looking for entry. There is a trend line that you can see here as well, and you could see the market to breaks out of that, and breaking below can give us an entry opportunity here that we can look for an upside here. So as looking at calendar again, so the news is at, so basically it's a tentative. There will be Trump will speak, so President Trump, as he is speaking, there will be volatility in the market, right? So that might begin in around 15 to 30 minutes earlier, and during that speech also we'll see a significant increase in the volatility. So due to speak at the World Economic Forum annual meeting. Okay, so this is a the Economic Forum speech that you could see that significantly moving. President Donald Trump, okay. On board, okay. And also tomorrow we'll see that news coming on employment change and also unemployment rate on AUD. That also contributes in the gold price movement, so you'll see that as well in the gold price movement, and also you can look at that. Also tomorrow will come GDP, the news on GDP also that will have significant impact. So this week the later every day there is a full schedule of news that will definitely bring some move in the market. Also there is JPY coming up later on Friday, so there will be policy rate, monetary policy statement, BOJ outlook report, BOJ press conference in a line, quite a few of them, they are tentative. Okay. Awesome. So that's where we will be looking for entry on a move, because with the upcoming news events, usually the market will have some reaction here, right? Already the market was having a reaction. Now with the current move coming, because if you look at the, I think there will be some speech that coming in regarding some of the geopolitical matters going on. But what I think that this might not change the trend, right? So what it could do, that it creates a lot of volatility. So mostly the speeches more often creates more of volatility rather than changing a trend. Can you tell me why? Because the trend changes when there is a very strong policy change, or especially the rate cut or rate hike. These are the news that fundamentally change the trend, right? Because rate cut will have a significant impact, or rate hike also have a significant impact in the market. That news eventually changes the trend in the market. But the speech usually will create a volatility. All right, now let's look at here on the intraday, looking at the 1 hour perspective here. The market, this is a support level where if you look at this doji, the price is coming for deeper liquidity gap here, and off that level waiting for the market to bounce back. If you look at here, it's on a pullback again in this lower time frame. It's gone for a little sideways movement. Some music on, and looking for an entry here. This is a very interesting structure that has created. If you look at, this is like a break below, a rejection of this level. Now it's moving entirely in a sideways coming up. There is a session opening in an hour, and the volume coming definitely with that session opening again. And at the moment we see there is a sideways move on the lower time frame. We are bullish, I agree, but sudden break of structure would be good. Yes, this is what primarily looking at to enter on a break of structure, right? This is where the key to trade the market, looking for an entry on a break of structure. Because when you look at the break of structure, you can see that when the market preparing for another move. I'm on sell on silver as well. Hope to get a spike down with a speech. I wouldn't look to sell in a bull market. All right. So this is I know that this is sometimes hard to understand how the trading psychology works, but it's a part of process. That means being a trader, it happens. But what I'd say that, before an entry or making a trading decision, this is a very good trading practice, is that asking over and over again the same question, that why am I entering the trade? Because more often the trading decision is clouded by the emotion, okay, which is the natural part of, as we were discussing about the brain. This is a very interesting instrument. We all have that, right? You can't be human without a brain. But if you look at that, our brain, this is what is the emotional brain. All right, it doesn't know any logic, just generate emotion, and then based on that emotion most of the decision comes. Okay, now if you look at more than 90%, okay, let's say the 98% of the decision is influenced by emotion. Emotion is such an interesting thing, because some of the primal emotion that governs our trading decision are fear and greed, right? These are very primitive emotion that governs our trading decision. And so how does this, sometime if you look at how that influence trading, the emotion of fear, very simple, because the brain that we have is we think that we just born 30, 40, 50 years ago, but in fact not. You have carried out billions of years of this kind of data, right? You have a gene. In our gene there is a genetic information that passed down from generation to generation, every information that we have, because the first, second, and every generation is interconnected to the past, right? So therefore, thousands of years people lived in the cave, lived in a very open area. If you look at the jungle, right? The hunters and many others. So during that time period, okay, now we have the modern city and house and everything. We can think of, okay, we can lock the door so that no lion or tiger can come to house, but that time it wasn't that much of safe, right? So it's all about survival. The brain's job is to keep you alive regardless of anything. And now that's where now coming to in trading, because seeing a red figure on your trading account is a kind of fearful. It's because it's a threat to your success as a trader, and that's why it creates that fear emotion of fear that governs most of the trading decision that being made. And therefore, being aware of that, right, it's important to maintain less emotional influence. And that's why also sometimes aided strategy helps. So if you look at the tool that we have, some of our best tool that we use to trade the market, it helps because some of the decision coming from the tool giving me an understanding of, okay, so I'm seeing a trade here, there's a buy alert. Now is this coinciding with my strategy? So some assistance always helps, right? That's why all those tools that you use, we have the system that you trade every single day with all the members, because trading is emotional. Alone trading without any aided system sometime will make your trading decision is very, very clumsy. So that's why it's helpful. But working on trading psychology is the best way you can become as a trader, no matter what you are trading or what kind of instrument you are trading. Even not only in trading, in every aspect of our life. So if you question some of the assumption or the decision or the comment strongly, you will find that there was an emotional component that doesn't have any, that you can't explain properly. So that's where the trading comes in play. And this is where the trading psychology we can look at from that point of view, that to develop a trading psychology we need to have a very stronger curious mindset, and also trading based on system, and also as I mentioned, using advanced tool eliminate a lot of emotional decision. Why? Because probably tool is developed by someone else out of emotion, without emotion, right? You can't live without emotion. But in a high pressure situation, tool will not be emotional, even though you and me become emotional. So it's one way to understand how we can enhance our trading ability by using many of the indicators, tools that you use every single day. That definitely helps. Now, at the moment, what we can see here, and also in the live trading session, you guys coming here, it's helpful because that's where you see that total community trading together, and you find that me also, it's a great place to trade together every single day, right? Okay, can you drop your Telegram trading music playlist? Okay, it's on Epidemic Sound. I use Epidemic Sound for that. You guys can look at that. I have a favorite playlist. I'll be doing later. Share playlist. Okay. Let me share it here. So that's where I've shared the link. You can look at that. All right. So what we can see at the moment, the market slowly coming down here to this previous support level. You might be able to find an entry, and I will be looking at entry as soon as we find suitable price action confirmation here. If you look at here, you can see it's breaking out of the structure. So I'm looking at the 30 minutes 20 exponential moving averages. You can see the market after this crossover, it tested here the 20 exponential moving averages and then got back to the upside. Now it's slowly coming to the same level of support where you might be able to see an entry opportunity here in that market. What kind of trading psychological difficulty that you think that you are facing? You can share your opinion. Another very, very important, the most important part of trading psychology. Okay, what is that? Cognitive dissonance. This is, every trader face it, right? This is what it is, because everyone has that. And so what is cognitive dissonance? Because if you know that, you can dramatically improve your trading psychology. Guys, this is something will change entirely. So the cognitive dissonance is a big part of trading psychology. If you can master that, you can become much more proficient as a trader, because every human operates on belief, right? And that, so to overcome that as a trader, the only way is put yourself in the experienced position. Okay, give yourself trial and error. Okay, give yourself time to trade in the real market, in the live market, because it's the habitual pattern in the brain that can adjust with it. We'll be discussing more on that. If you want to be a trader, then you need to touch every point to become a trader, because it's freedom on the other side. So here is what we can see, the market in that support level trying to, if you look at it, the market has come back to that support. You could see that entirely a bounce of that level, right? So from this support, potentially to break above that trend line. Okay, now in this area, if you look at that, the market is approaching that support level, and with that support, if you look at the market is this is a key level of support where the price is potentially coming to retest and then reject back again of that level. Okay, so the example of cognitive dissonance in trading is, internal belief about all the trades and capital that we have. Okay, so this is a very basic phenomenon as a trader. But if you look at if you believe that you are an expert trader, okay, so this is the first thing that every trader needs to do. You need to believe that you are a good trader before you become a good trader, before you become an expert trader. And creating that belief requires practice, requires time to develop that skill set. And when you look at that, when you started to open few trades, doing better, it will bring some kind of change in you. Every human being like that. So even if you take a trade in a specific direction, let's say you believe that the market will go up, but the market will go down, right? So you have a specific idea, like we all have, and once you think the market will go down and you took a sell trade, but the market is going up, so it's usually goes against our fundamental belief about trading, right? So about the direction in the market. So that creates a kind of the discomfort that every trader face. So what happen is that when every trader face that discomfort, we make a trading decision later that may not be as per the strategy, as per the system, right? So this is a very common phenomenon. As a trader, to be a better trader, there's no other way but to work on that. Okay, so give yourself some time and it's gonna work out very well. Okay, so it's just a practice, or giving yourself to the experience where you can go through that, and over time you will see that you become better as a trader. Okay, so here we'll be discussing more later in this session, and also every single day we discuss a lot about trading psychology, about developing a healthy trading psychology that will give you better understanding of your trading psychology, because 70% of a trader's success depend on his or her trading psychology. All right, so it's very important to look at. Now let's look at that here on the market. If you look at, this is a support level, the market is getting some reaction of that level. Also share your trading psychology. What do you think, where you are at in terms of the development of your trading psychology? Share some of the thought here. Okay, so here is what you can see in that area. This is where the market is. If you look at, this is a key level. Okay, so there is an inverted head and shoulder. This might be a potentially a change in trend, but what I think, the market may eventually bounce off that level. Okay, we'll see that where it is heading to. I think there might be an inverted head and shoulder. The market may break back to the upside here. Let's see that where it is heading to. Okay, so if you look at in this area, the market is slowly building a momentum, and okay, so looking at the 4 hour, we'll be deleting the levels and we'll be looking at the fresh perspective to see that where the market is heading. Okay, and looking at the daily and the intraday from the 1 hour perspective here, the previous 1 hour support is here, right? So with that previous hourly support here, this is a key level of support, and in that support what we can expect the market to retest and then to reject back again to the upside here in that area. All right, so looking at we might be able to find an entry in that area. What other kind of, you can see the market now is preparing here. We'll discuss more on the trading psychology. What other kind of trading psychology you think that influence traders? Do you know the confirmation bias? There is a confirmation bias, okay, which is also a big psychological mistakes happen in trading, right? Emotion of fear, emotion of greed, these are the two primitive emotion that drives the trader's decision. FOMO trade, okay, revenge trade, these are also a big part of trading psychology. Okay, so here is the market is slowly creating that pressure here, and we might see that the price to bounce off that level. Okay, now breaking out of that trend line is where we can expect the market to react to that level. Welcome. So of this support, if you look at the market is slowly trying to break that high, and I think now as there are some news coming, we might see that a break and the rejection of this level. We want to enter from a key level. We want to enter from an important support level where we can look for an entry in this market. Though we are discussing about the emotion in trading, right? That, okay, so the emotion really impact our trading decision, but you can in fact use emotion to enhance your trading ability. Okay, understand that will change the way you look at the market, guys. This is a great way to handle your ability, because trading is hard, which is very normal, and anything hard you need to have emotion behind it, right? So it's self-contradictory, right? Emotion is affecting trading, but how can you use emotion to help you in your trading? Because of the type of emotion, right? Because there are many kinds of emotion. You can use the higher emotion to drive you to become a better trader. How can you can generate higher emotion? Because emotion is energy in motion, which is, if you look at the brain that we looked at, the amygdala, which is the midbrain, okay, this is the limbic system, and the frontal lobe. So frontal lobe is the newest brain, human brain, right? So this amygdala is the emotional brain that generates emotion, okay, which is, that's why we human, you won't see that emotion with animals. So now there are many kinds of emotions. So if you list out that, if you look at the 24-hour of your day, you'll see that a human being goes through many kinds of emotion, fear, sometimes different kinds of emotion, right? Some of them are higher in energetic scale, right? So higher means that when you experience those emotions, you get more motivation to work and do something that really will help you to become better. So those higher emotion, it's in higher in energy, it will give you more focus. So those emotion is, you can rewrite the lower emotion with the higher emotion to give you much more better understanding as a trader. So how can you find those emotion, right? By reason is a very higher, the most of, as a human being, we more of like we confront in most of the case, but when you reason, that you start to see things differently. So find out a clear reason for doing or for trading that will generate, you can generate those emotions that will drive you to become a better trader, right? These are practice. So what's your reason for trading? Share it here. Just by thinking about it, it's gonna bring new emotion in you. Reason itself is an emotional component. So when you have a reason, you're gonna stay in a higher emotion. Welcome. Have a little higher music here. Okay, so here we are looking at this level here. For time, location, and financial freedom. Okay. To master a skill that will be part of me forever. Okay. Good to hear that. Now, remember, very important is that the more specific you are, the better you are. Okay. Anything. Be always stay in a specific, okay, okay, in terms of reason or anything, because anything you say, do, act, think, there is always your mind is literally registering whatever you are saying, doing, or thinking, or saying, every details of it. So the more specific you are, the higher your probability to go to that point of. Otherwise, I think Seneca once said that the man who doesn't know which port to sail, no wind is favorable to him, right? So you need to know exactly which port to sail. So we can see there is some move in the market at the moment. All right, so you can see that with this inverted head and shoulder, in fact, the market has managed to break back to the upside. We are approaching towards the session opening, and patience is key. As you know, we do open trades, and most of the time we have successful entry and exit, though there are sometimes stop loss hit, and it's a part of trading. But I believe that you guys ready with the full risk management plan with risk manager. And now we might see some volatility coming with the upcoming speech, and in the meantime, as soon as the market is coming to an important level of support, we will be looking at entry in this market. All right, so there is a, if you look at there is a break of this trend line, and the price is coming for now another drop back below here. So there is a sessions open coming, and also the 1 hour price action. Now the current level of support is here, and breaking below here can be an opportunity to go long, and at any point you will be able to find an entry as soon as you see the market is showing that downside here. And in the meantime, if you haven't smashed the like button, you can do so. So I'm sharing the Telegram link. You can join the free one here in the free Telegram, and also we have few position open on the mentorship. You can find the website link below for more update as well as understanding. All right, so here is the doji formation, and with the doji, the market now slowly coming for a pullback. You want to see that the market has come to an important area of value. There was a move that we have seen in that area. Now as soon as we see the pullback, we can look at for further entry opportunity. Breakup structure. To master a skill that will be part of me forever. Yeah, knowledge is power, right? So always gain skill, knowledge, gain knowledge, gain skill, because being more better as a trader, and if you stick to something, stick to trading, it's gonna be successful definitely, and no doubt about it, right? So the only thing that you need is to stay long enough to learn and grow as a trader. The more time you'll give, the faster you're gonna be good at it. Okay, now are you seeing any move here? Trying to move in a side in that area. I think if we look at so there is a 15 minutes candle closing, which is eventually closing as a doji that you can see. Session opening coming, and so with a head and shoulder, there is a downside pressure that you can see before the 1 hour candle close, and that might bring that market below here for us to be able to potentially find an entry. So with a false breakout here, it started to drop down back below, potentially further downside. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at some interesting support the market is coming to, and with that support test that we are looking at in this market, if you look at the market is approaching this support, which breaking below can give us potential entry. And from the 1 hour, if you guys look at, you can see the market is approaching breaking this previous 1 hour low, and this zone is vital. Okay, vital means that it's a very high area of value, and we will be looking for entry. So I'm preparing for a potential entry, just giving a heads up on that. Breaking below can give us, or even from here you could see rejection. This is an important support level. So here, and with the 1 hour candle close, I'm going to look at for potential entry, right? So if you look at here for a stop loss criteria, that you want to see the market to keep that support level intact, and we'll be placing stop loss below this low for a potential move back to the upside here. And I'm going to open here a buy trade from here. Stop loss keeping is little lower here, and we can target the first TP at this level. We can keep a bigger target, and we can adjust accordingly if needed, right? So opening a buy trade in that area here on XAUUSD. So putting a stop loss at 4851.01. Take profit target at 4880.11. So I'm on this trade and I'm looking for a potential upside here. So my entry here precisely, if I look at 4861.29. So at this level I have entered, and probably you guys might have a little different, but here I'm running at now at this level, expecting it to have a reaction of this level. There might be further deepen can happen with the 1 hour candle close, but if before the candle close the market is breaking this high here, breaking 4486, that's gonna be for us to nearly 53 pip move. We would like to see that before the candle close the market to have that reaction back to the upside, right? Awesome. We see some movement back to the upside here. Okay, we see some upside here and 22 pip up with the trade that we have opened, and I'm holding on to that. At any point I'm closing. I will be also giving a shout out here to tell what I am doing here. I think there is still possibility for little upside here as 1 hour candle close coming. Okay, so we are running 36 pip profit at the moment and looking forward to see some upside here. Guys, real profit going on. And as long as we have the probability to go up further, I'm holding on to that. Okay, so 40 pip, running 40 pip, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm closing out 42, 43 pip. Okay, and also I have instructed in the group, guys. This is what it is. You guys have seen that I've opened in front of you together, and we closed nearly to 45 pip with this trade, guys. This is, you know, that's why trading in the live market, all right, with all together, that's the real trading. That's the real trading. That's where real trading happen. I've entered a trade. Thank you. Say yes if you have entered. Awesome. We closed it. Now it's going up further, but I'm out with it. Okay, so I'm going to just update the journal. Some bullish move coming here. There's some volatility coming with the upcoming event, so which might make the market pretty move here. So we have another position that in fact has given another one, and which is 45. So total journal update with us. Significant some more coming here. Market may get pretty volatile at the moment. So bringing our journal here, so we are at this level. So we just moved to 1100 pip in January 2026, 228 pip minus. So basically this is a net gain, and then this is, if we need to minus this one, we need to add this one here. So now we got close with this trade. You can share your PNL here. We are out with the trade. The market is having some increased volatility here at the moment, and we can see there is a significant move. Okay, so there are some, if you look at here, we'll be looking for the next potential entry. So here's where you can see the market from this support level getting some potential reaction here, and we will be looking for further entry as soon as the market shows that pattern here. As soon as the market shows potential entry opportunity for us to go for another entry. I think there might be some breakup structure. The way the market is heading here, it's creating quite a few long week candlestick pattern that might bring that market below here, which could create what I think the breakup support, and then can give us an entry here in that market. Might eventually remain bullish, but we see there is a interesting sideways movement here in this market. We're getting potentially a breakout. So we are moving forward towards the speech time, where the market might get pretty interestingly volatile here. We're looking at this in that area for another moving back to the upside, and I believe that you guys are preparing for another move. We will be looking for further entry as soon as the market shows up an entry here in this market. Very pretty successful trading session. Early today we have opened 2 trades, both of them we successfully have managed to close, and with giving the overall a complete positive return. So you can join the Telegram here for regular updates, education as well as analysis. I do share many of the trades in that directly to the free Telegram during the London session open. Also, I do send alert in the group for giving an idea of what the market is doing. So you can stay connected by joining there for regular update as well as education. Okay, so here some move that you can see in the market, which could eventually take that market. Now, the price has tested the lower shadow, showing that potentially a bullish trend continuation here that can take the market here in this area. There quite a few liquidity sweep here in that zone that you can see that can take the market eventually back to the upside to create a higher high. The trend is still upside, and we might say that is still continuation back here in this market. the market in a interesting area where the market is trending with a little sideways movement, but I think there is a potential for, as the session is opening, market is getting volatile, and we could see the market to eventually break above here and then to create a new higher high. Now it has created a very narrow area here that you can see, and that narrow area that you can see in this market could eventually break that above, and I would like to see the market to remain in that area. And if you look at here, you can see it's still a stronger bullish price action. There is a higher possibility that this market eventually bounce off that level and then to create a new higher high. This is still showing bullish. Okay, so we see that there is a potential breakout here in that market, which is maintaining this uptrend here in that area. So we could see the price to eventually break above here to create a new higher high, and we might see now a new higher high to be created. So with a long week candlestick pattern here, that you can see the market is create a double top and trying to go for a consolidation here in that market. Okay, so there is a false breakout here that you can see. The market may eventually create an upside bias. Let's see if this false breakout pushing that market back up here, and as this pitch is coming, the market is really getting pretty interesting here. We'll be looking to see further entry opportunity as soon as it appears. And okay, so there is a liquidity sweep here in that area, and that liquidity sweep, we can see the market could create a significant move here at the moment. This is a very interesting market structure at the moment that you can see. Thank you. Really teaches us patience is key. Yeah, absolutely. News in 20 minutes. Yeah, expect some spike when Trump speaks in 10 minutes. Yeah, there will be some move, and that we could see that there is some up and down. So could you please manage okay, so here is, you can see the market slowly breaking that low here, and for the direction back above, back below. Okay, so from this high creating a double top, the market has entirely broken out of this structure here. So it now, because it had a breakdown with this double top, there is a potential for now to come down for creating a double bottom, but here it is an long-term bullish trend, so definitely I'm not looking for any selling in this market at the moment. We'll only be looking for buying, as this is a bull market. Okay. I don't see any clear direction in the market here, guys. This is just moving in a very funny sideway movement with a narrow range. So I do not see any clear direction in this market yet. The range is very interesting here. But what kind of range is this also? In fact, it's not clear here. So let's delete all those levels. If you look at this, quite a few smaller doji, and with the current price action that you can see, we see there is the 30 minutes candle also closing with back-to-back two long wick dojis, and so with a series of high low, the market is slowly breaking that pressure here to the upside, and there is a volatility coming, so that might take that market pretty while now at the moment. So with a multiple liquidity grab, series of high low, the market eventually could now break in that direction here to create a new higher high. So you guys seeing any bullish move or bearish move here? What do you think? So the market is heading, and so interesting price action creating series of higher low. Yeah, there's some spike that you can see. Now, okay, so we see that there is a breakout here, and okay, so it's breaking out of that level here that you can see with a series of higher high and higher low. Now with that movement, as the market is breaking out of the structure here after a short consolidation, we could see the potential trend continuation here back to the upside in this market. And we had a successful session, and I'm really looking at another entry. The market was quite a bit of sideways, but we could see at any point this market again started to be in a trend, and I think there is a high possibility now the market to again move in the major direction of the trend. So I'm still on it. I'm still on it to get an entry opportunity here for this potential move back to the upside to create a new higher high. with a multiple long week candlestick pattern here in that area. The market start to trend, and with is there any current so eventually it has broken back to the upside here in that market that we can see, and which is if you look at from this support level, got that rejection back above here, and now as there is a breakout, what we can expect here, the market to eventually break that level of resistance and continue to trend back here to create a new higher high. So this is significantly bullish market that is maintaining its uptrend, and we could see the market to eventually remain in that direction for longer term perspective here in this market. So as we are progressing towards the NY session, and pretty busy session here, is there any different okay, so there are some if we look at the currently, this is tentative, which is causing that the market to become volatile again, while if we look at the tomorrow also coming up, AUD, unemployment change, and also unemployment rate and also employment change, both of them on AUD also high impact. Along with also we'll see two important news, also unemployment claims on USD and also final GPT on USD, so that all of them will combine on combine effect on gold that upcoming days and sessions. So we are progressing towards those areas where there is a significant move. And in the meantime, traders, I hope that you enjoyed this session. As we are progressing towards this session, we are almost ended, but we have a successful session. Less is more in trading. We had, if you look at the previous sessions, was incredibly well. We had one trade in London session, one trade in NY session, and looking for more later throughout the session. That being said, tomorrow I'm coming on live again to trade all these guys. You can see, stay patient, stay focused in trading, and I'll see you again in the next live coming later in the upcoming session. Trading is more of psychology than anything else. So thanks for joining. Have a good evening, and I'll see you again very soon. Trading.